13 will earn double XP.
Here we go. Spoiler alert. I'm warning you now. This is a warning to start the video before I begin my intro. Spoiler alert. Do not watch this film. Or do not watch this if you have not watched Doctor Strange in the Multiverse. Do not watch this review because I'm going to be talking about spoilers and talking about what is next for the MCU. So please do not watch if you have not watched the film. Do not get spoiled. I'm going to give you 10 seconds and then I'm going to start. You have been warned. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. 10 seconds up. I'm starting. And now, what is up, guys? It is your boy Brian, and welcome to Brian's Movie Review and Spoilers. Today, I'm going to be talking about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So, this has been a long time film coming. Obviously, the last one I saw was Uncharted. It was decent. It was okay. Not bad at all. But this one was important because it was going to lead possibly into where Marvel is going or what's next for Marvel, because a lot of shows are winding down and there's not going to be much production from movies ready because there's a lot of movies going bye-bye. So first of all, let me review it. I'm going to give Doctor Strange well, actually, no, I did that dance. Sorry, no. I want to say the movie is fun. It's fast-paced. It's weird. It's different. There's lots of spells, lots of sorcery talk. If you like that kind of stuff, this is the movie for you. Lot of things happen. Lots of universes are visited in this, and it gets really weird, but also really cool at the same time. So let's get to it. So where do I even start? So there was a lot of things that I didn't expect from this film. There was um a lot of people I didn't expect to see. There's a lot of things that happened, and there's a lot of things that just seemed crazy. It seemed like this was a main focus. Now, so in the beginning of the movie, they show, it seemed like a dream, but it was actually reality that was happening. A different version of Strange that was in Strange's mind that was transported into real life was helping this girl who had this power to open the multiverse with the portals. Very important girl. Get the book of Enchenho, I think it is. The book of Enchenho is the one that can, save the multiverse and not open the multiverse into the real world. They try to do that, but there's this giant monster that's roaming around trying to attack them. They get so close to the book, they're about to do it, and then the book basically gets left behind, it gets destroyed, and now the monster basically is about to destroy off. But the girl uses her ability out of fear, and it teleports not only a monster into the multiverse, into the real world, herself is in the real world, and of course, the other Strange is also in that world. Crazy, right? It's already the beginning. So then we're back into the real world after the events of the Thanos snap. After dusting for 5 years, basically, that's like the timeline. And Stephen Strange, aka Doctor Strange, is at his former girlfriend's wedding about basically supporting her and saying, hey, I'm happy, it's pretty So it's definitely a thing of like, um, tons of things that just, things are just happening. So, they're at the wedding. Strange finally gets a chance to talk to his former lady. I'm trying to think of the name. I know it's been a day, so I'm still trying to process it a little bit. Um, Let me check her name real quick. Christine. There we go. Sorry. Christine. So Christine formerly was with Doctor Strange. If you remember the first film, she basically was in love with Strange. They did a lot of work together. But then Strange wanted to learn the sorcery thing, and he went to this unknown place to learn about it. And when he learned about it, he took it to the world, and now he's Doctor Strange. He has his own place, and he's in the sorcery. He met Wong, etc. Things like that. So this is where this continues. But she said it herself, and I won't go too in depth because it's more of a love thing. Um, they just didn't. They just weren't for together. Like she basically said it herself. She legitimately, um, you know, it was more of a thing of like, yeah, yeah, you were the one that has to cut through that knife, and she could take that. She respected it at first, but then at the end of the part, they just couldn't do it for love. So, so unfortunately, Strange puts that in the barrel, and then he even says himself as a joke, "How far was that in the barrel?" She said, "Very far." So she wanted to say that to him for a long time. Then she's about to introduce her to her new husband, basically her love of her life. Strange is just happy that she's happy. Same with her, everything. But then there's a car. We hear a car sound, kind of a ricochet car sound, and then we see people running. We're like, why the hell's running? There's like nothing there. You just see a bus getting crushed up by something, but you can't see it. So Strange very smoothly gets in the action, has his cape, drinks his martini, gets the shape, and just heads all the way down. And of course, ready to battle. So then, he's ready to battle. He uses a magic ability, one of his abilities, to see monsters that are invisible. He uses it, and he sees this one-eyed monster that's going after this girl, and Strange notices the girl that was in the dream. So, for sure, which we're going to find out more, that it's not a dream. It's a reality. So, then, what happens after that is they fight the big monster, really cool fight. Wong finally appears. He travels from his place that he's, battle and everything, travels. And, they defeat the monster, and the girl is safe. Strange goes to the girl, and she's about to run away, but then Strange says, "You took one of my um, little ring things." I forgot what they're called. He said in the movie. Took them, and he noticed. He said, "Give them back. We're not playing around." So then they go into this like pizza shop just to talk about why are you here, how are you here, basically asking questions basically. And Strange basically asks her, "You're the one from my dreams," but she said it's a reality. So Strange is like, "I don't believe you. You're not real, whatever." But then she explains that she has a power that she could travel through any universe ever. That's a lot of power. And I see why a lot of people want that power. Except for Strange, of course. This Strange, not in her universe, the Strange is helping her. Um, is is like, "Hey, or we're gonna help you out. We're gonna try to help you out." So then Strange doesn't believe it, but then she buried her dead Strange that looks exactly like Strange in a random place. They go up to the top, and you just see like a dead Strange, like a zombie Strange, which will be used for later. So they buried it for now, just in case if anything happens, and we go on from there. Then she asked if you have anyone that can control the power of the multiverse. And unfortunately, regrettably, Mr. Strange goes to a woman that has been through a lot. I'd say she's our main character in this story, Wanda Maximoff. The one that was the host of WandaVision, and the one that made Westview a complete mess. So she is having dreams of her with her kids, basically enjoying herself, enjoying having kids. That's the one thing she's always wanted. This is the main plot point that I'm going to keep saying through the movie so you don't forget. The main thing she wants, it's not the world to end. It's not to hurt anyone. She just wants to be with her kids. But the way she's doing it is not right. So, and I'll explain why it's not right. So, Strange, you see her cutting trees normally. It seems normal, right? And Strange, basically says, we're not here to talk about Westview, I'm here to talk about what do you know about the multiverse. And she said Viz had her theories, and was just like, talking into it. And then she basically pulls the whole gag. She pulls out her Scarlet Witch suit, very simply, and then she powers up. And then, with one snap, she takes over the whole land that she was just doing. She takes her basically to the Dark Realm. And Strange finally noticed she has the Dark Lore. She has the Dark Power. Which means Wanda is basically no more. There's only a little bit of Wanda. And Wanda very creepily basically explaining, and also, like, the way it was switched was like, you didn't tell her name, did you? And Strange was like, no. And then immediately Wanda knew she needs that girl to get to her kids for some reason. Needs that girl, the Power Girl, which, I'm trying to think of the name of the girl. Oh my god, what the fuck's her name? Like, she's like a really important piece because she could travel through universes and everything. Oh my god, what the fuck's her name? Oh, America Chavez. There we go. America Chavez. That's her name. I have the list here just in case. But America Chavez. That's the main girl that's focused here because she's the one who can travel through multiverses. And if Wanda, aka the Scarlet Witch, gets that power, she can take over the whole world with just that one woman sacrifice and get to her kids, but destroy the multiverse and the world in general. So Wanda basically commands Strange to go back to where he was, which Kamito, I believe the name of it is, which is the safe place apparently where they're going to guard. I'm coming around, I think she said around like sunset. Please hand me the child very easily, and we won't have an issue. So they've set up for battle. She's locked down in a place where Wanda can't get to her. And this is where we really see the power of the Scarlet Witch. Wanda's no more after this. So Wanda, with the dark, dark clouds, it gets really quiet, really scary. They set up the defenses, ready to go. Here comes Wanda. One more chance. Trying to be reasonable. That's the word she uses, reasonable. She talks Strange and says, I'm trying to be reasonable here. Just give me the child, and no one will get hurt. But Strange is like, you're not allowed to come here, Wanda Maximoff, aka the Scarlet Witch. And she said herself before to Strange, you won't be seeing Wanda when I go over there if you don't give me the child. You're going to see the Scarlet Witch. And that's what we got. So Wanda, basically, ready to attack Strange, but the defense is way too strong for Wanda. At first, they basically put a whole block around the Atomitage Arena, basically, and just basically tried to block her off and tried to do that. But Wanda, who's so strong, learning from the book in WandaVision, if you remember the ending scene, she was learning, fasting through the book so quickly. She learned that she can take over minds, kind of like how she did in Westview, but she could scare them to death to stop, and she just gives them a command word to either kill or run, and it's super creepy. It's like it's, the way they had her do it was like really cool, but also really creepy at the same time. So he basically went into this guy's mind, whose mind's very weak, said run, and the command just boom happened automatically. He starts running, the defenses are down, and Wanda goes on an absolute tear. All the people that were guarding basically get annihilated because of the power of the Scarlet Witch. They tried to defend back, but just too powerful. She had these powerful kind of bombs that she threw with her hands, and they just wiped out everyone. It was so cool to see because I've never seen the Scarlet Witch at full power, and I got a chance to see that. It was insanity. And then they basically take her inside the place. She wipes out everyone. Everyone is down. Wong and Strange and the girl go back inside. So they're kind of trying to be safe. The issue is Wanda is ready to just walk in there and just destroy anyone in her path. But Strange very smartly took her to the mirror dimension. As she was punching Strange, she was about to punch Strange, mirror division pops up. Like they put her in the mirror dimension. This can give them some time to get out. So then basically they head all the way upstairs, trying to lock up, but we have to remember the Scarlet Witch is so powerful, she can use her powers to kind of use reflections on like the mirror to like punch through. So if there's any reflections, you could see her body in the reflection and she could pop up out of nowhere. So Doctor Strange, Wong, and the girl covered up as much reflections as they can, but the girl got a little too curious and you could see Wanda's eye right through the reflection. So it gives her enough power for Wanda to pop out of the reflection, and she's right there. She's almost ready for her goal to get the girl. That's what she wants. She wants to get the girl. She wants to get the girl. But Wanda was ready to basically show Strange why she's doing all this. So what does Wanda do? Wanda pulls up kind of a vignette kind of style with her powers, and she shows little diagrams of what her kids are doing. Kind of a mini kind of simulation. But Strange is still like, you're sacrificing a kid to do this. And Wanda's like, I just want my kids. If I get my kids and I go somewhere that I can stay, a universe that I can stay, I could be happy and I can go away forever. But it's got to be a sacrifice of a kid. That's the problem with Wanda's vision. I get where Wanda's coming from. She wants to be a mom. She wants to be a mom with her 2 kids and enjoying life. But the way she's doing it is not the right way. She's forcing it. She's not doing it naturally, and her kids don't really exist in that universe. You know what I'm saying? So she did that, and then she's basically ready to take the kid. She's got the power. Wong tries to stop her, doesn't work. But Strange, as she powers up the portal, Strange basically, and I don't want to pull WWE, basically spears her or takes her out in with the multiverse while Wanda is stuck with Wong, and basically Wanda just abuses Wong while Strange and the girl are gone. Then Doctor Strange, Steven, and the girl go through the multiverse, a bunch of multiverses, until they land on one final multiverse that they finally land. Flat, they land, and it's like really confusing. So they wake up, Strange wakes up, and he's like, holy shit, we're in the multiverse. And she's like, yeah, we're in the multiverse. And then what happens is, Strange, obviously funny kind of stuff. The ride was so painful, he basically throws up after. It is what it is. Normal stuff. And then they're trying to figure out how could they get back. She basically asks the woman, that's the person that can go travel multiverses, can you use your power? She says she doesn't know how to. Strange gets really mad and she's about to be feared, but then Strange backs off like, I gotta chill out. I can't yell at this girl. Because it's fear. So then, she thinks about what happened to your Strange in your universe. And she thought about it. She's like, what if we find you in this universe? And Strange is like, we could find me to help us out. So, they walk around the city. And this post-credit scene, and I'll talk about it later, has a relation to the second post-credit, which was the biggest troll of 2022, in my opinion. So, they're walking around. She's talking about the multiverse. She's talking about the rules of the multiverse. As Strange walks around. As Strange is ready to basically, ready to move on to the next spot. But then she steals these pizza bowl things that look kind of weird, but also kind of cool. And the guy's like, hey, you gotta pay for this. She's like, shit. And he's like, don't worry, it's just a girl, back it up. But then the guy was about to punch Strange. And Strange basically put this epic spell of this dude getting punched for 4 straight weeks. Well, no, sorry, for 3 weeks, sorry. It was gonna be 3 weeks. Because they thought, and she asked, like, is it gonna be for, like, a couple days? And he's like, no, more like 3 weeks. And she's like, she was laughing, like, oh, damn. So then, this is where it gets a little. If you guys got emotional in the film because of this, I don't really blame you, because this scene was very, very important. So they have in the future this memory lane thing you could stand on. It basically shows the last memory that you have, or the most memory you can remember. And the first one was Strange. Strange basically remembers getting the watch that was broken in the first scene when he got out of bed from his thought it was going to be future wife. The future wife, which I'm sorry I keep forgetting her name. It's just like the name is popped up, but like after the movie you forget the name sometimes. Um, yeah, Christine. Christine, there we go. Christine. And they're doing the date scene basically like how it was, where Strange was very young. And Strange almost got emotional, but he's like, we gotta get going. But then the girl steps on her space, right? Steps on her space. And it shows her with her mother. And maybe her grandmother. Before. And then it showed the horror of her powering up because of a bee. She got feared. And the power teleported her to the multiverse and traveled her parents to the multiverse. And she said, like, I don't know if I'm gonna ever find my mom and stuff. And then she asked about Christine and said, did you blew it? And also Strange actually asked her about the Strange in this universe, in her universe. Did Strange blow it? And she's like, yeah, and it says figures. So we relate. So they're basically relating that unfortunately Strange in both universes blew it with Christine. It's unfortunate. And then what happened there was is that happened or whatever. And then they're walking, walking to the next location. And then like Strange hopes that she could find her family. A very nice tone. She says thanks, and then she says, hope you can find happiness too and stuff. So that's done there. So now on to the next scene, they find this strange museum that people were talking about. The guy was talking about a strange museum, aka the sorcery. He finds it, and since it's a different universe, it said Stephen Strange died in that universe. So then, a surprise face pops up that's part of the sorcery, and that's Mordo. Mordo doesn't like Strange in the other universe. But Mordo gives Strange a hug in a weird way. Gives him a hug and is like, hey, be cool. So then they go upstairs and he talks about the multiverse. He talks about, there's more spells in the dark realm. There's basically more spells that Wanda can do, the Scarlet Witch can do. And he was talking about this one ritual. I don't remember the name of it. It was a really complex name. That ritual, something about hell, right? Did the ritual, and if Wanda were to do that, she can travel to different multiverses just like the girl, but going to go after her. So Strange and then they're about to leave, but then Mordo put like a sleeping spell or something, some kind of gas on both the girl and Strange, and both of them went out to sleep entirely. And then we cut back to the land where Wanda and Wong are still alive. Wong's basically tied up. And then one of the girls sacrifices herself to help Wong out and basically knife the book, and it ruined Wanda. Basically, the book got destroyed. And in the meantime, Wanda is sneaking into the house trying to see what it's like to be with the kids. And then once the book is destroyed, it ruins her vision. And she's like, where are the kids? What happened? And she's like, the book got burnt. So then she basically attacks Wong and commands Wong to tell her where I can find the book or where can I do the ritual. So what basically happens is she basically takes over. They're basically fallen people, and makes them alive again and ready to destroy Wong. But Wong says, just basically blurs it out. You have to go on this treacherous journey atop this high mountain that has the book or the ritual you need to do the ritual. And because he was a sorcerer, she basically puts a ring on him and says, "You're coming with me on a long journey." So he basically captures Wong, basically kidnaps Wong, and basically asks him questions and tells her, um, you know, what to do and like how far and stuff. So Wong basically has a lot of knowledge. That happens, right? But then right after that, we go back into the scene, and then finally we see Strange waking up in a glass shielding that's really protective, really hard protective. And the girl's also there too, and she's like, "Let us out." And Strange asks us questions, and look who walks in. Multiverse version of Christine, who is now a mad scientist and knows about the multiverse. And Strange is like, "Christine?" And, they start talking, and, she's basically saying, "We're going to be testing you guys. We're going to be doing some testing and stuff like that." And they go into conversation. She's like, "You got to let us out. I got to protect this kid." But she's like, "I can't do that." So then Strange, trying, asks about her, this person. She said, still not going to have a chance. So unfortunately, she still doesn't trust Strange yet. We'll get there. So then we go back into the high mountaintop where Wong and Wanda are. They finally make it to the top, and Wanda, very funnily, is like, "You really couldn't teleport us up there?" And Wong was like, "This is how far I can go." So then Wanda basically lifts Wong and herself up to the top where the ritual is, and there's a big table with a ritual. You don't see anything at first, very dark. You don't see anything, and then a minute later, you see these monsters come up ready to attack Wanda, but then they kneel down to her. So basically, they were waiting for her because on the back of the wall, there's a thing of her, the Scarlet Witch, and she sees the ritual and sees everything. And Wong was ready to try to stop her, at some point, but she's ready to do the ritual. She's reading everything. She's ready to go. She's ready to do the ritual, get into the multiverse, and get to her. So then we're back on the other side. And then they're ready to take Strange to the so-called Illuminati. And we're like, "Oh, it's the Illuminati. We're about to see the Illuminati. It's about to be insane. The Illuminati." So they take Strange, they leave the girl there, and they just said, "Protect her at all costs." She asked Christine, "Protect her at all costs." Strange now walks into the Illuminati door. And then we see these figures. There's people talking, and we're like, "What's going on here?" And then Mortal says, "This is the Illuminati. We're here to talk to Stephen Strange." But it's different. It's not what you think. There are characters that I didn't even expect to see. So who was there? There was the Stretch dude from Fantastic Four. There was Miss Marvel, but the other Miss Marvel, the black lady one from one of the films. Then there's Xavier, Professor X, which he comes in a little later. There's Captain Carter from What If. Crazy, I know. Then there's this dude with like the helmet. I forgot his name. I think his name is Silence. I think or something. I forgot. And then the guy all the way towards the end is who's the other guy? I forgot the other guy. But basically, the whole Illuminati's there, and of course Mordo in the middle. And Professor basically comes in and says, "We're going to be deciding your faith." But he knows, in the mind, he shows the truth of what happened in their universe, and it was the roles reversed. Thanos was taken out, but Strange was eliminated because he was too dangerous for some reason. He was so powerful, they eliminated him. They thought he was a threat. So Strange is like, "Oh my god, I didn't know this." So then everything's going on, and then we go cut back to the place on the top of the mountain where the ritual is. And Wanda is ready to do the ritual. She cuts off Wong. Wong falls over, and she does the ritual. She goes back into to WandaVision, where her family is with her kids, and then she basically, while they're sleeping, wakes her up, goes through the door, and goes to the universe that the girl is in, because that's who she's tracking. So then nothing happens the first day. They talk about the Illuminati and stuff, and Strange is trying to speak and say, we need to protect this girl. I need to protect this girl. She can travel multiverses. We need to know. And then Professor says, we have to. Professor says we have to. So Professor X was basically using his mind and saying we have to. So he trusts Strange to protect her, but Mordo not letting him go yet, because then the alarm goes off and someone is breaching, because Wanda has arrived. Wanda basically takes out all the security, takes out everybody, takes out the robots, destroys the robots, and now Wanda wants the girl. But then the Illuminati has to step in, but Strange can't go anywhere because Mordo won't let him. So then, back in the other end, we have the Dude Fantastic Four, we have Captain Carter, we have Professor X, who has not appeared yet, and then of course we have the other one. So, we have a lot. We have a lot here. And unfortunately, the first dude legitimately... So basically, they asked Wanda, please don't do this. This dude can destroy you with one blast. With his mouth. Because he's silent. But then, so savage, he says, what mouth? Turns around, the mouth is gone. And like the mouth is gone. And it basically explodes him and kills him with one kill. So then they continue. The other guy gets into Fantastic Four. Unfortunately, he basically turns into this term that I did find. String cheese. Basically, looks like string cheese. Basically, strung. Just absolutely destroyed. While Doctor Strange and Mordo are basically still talking it out. While the girl is trying to get out, as Christine's trying to get the girl out before Wanda gets to them. As it continues, next is Captain Carter. Captain Carter has a solid fight with Wanda, but Wanda is just too strong. She's so OP. Legitimately just destroys Captain Carter's head. Captain Carter is down. There goes the What If girl. Crazy, I know. Lot of killing. Then it's Miss Marvel, who's the last one alive. She has a great effort. She thinks she's got Wanda, but Wanda pulls some amazing witchcraft and basically counters, kills Miss Marvel by throwing a statue on her. She is down. Now, the only one left, and then we cut back actually to a little bit where Strange and Mordo are talking, and then plan, he basically says the reason you got into Illuminati was so you could get the book and you could be the protector, and Mordo just had enough. Mordo pulls the knife and they go in a fight. Of course, Strange is still locked up with these kind of special locks that are in the future. So they continue. They fight it out. They duke it out while Wanda's getting closer to the girl. They're duking it out. They're hitting moves. They're basically using the sword. And then Strange, with the smart move, basically takes out Mordo. Mordo's down. Not killed, but down. And then Strange runs over. But then there's one more person, Professor X. And Professor X uses his mind to get into Wanda. It shows a kind of a cool transition through the eyes, through the body. And then Professor X is in this kind of war zone where, like, Wanda's mind is getting taken over by the Scarlet Witch, was trying to reach her. But then the cloud of the Scarlet Witch comes, and so creepily, this weird kind of creature that she's possessed by basically snaps Professor X's neck in the dream, in her mind, and basically kills Professor X from the inside. I know, Wanda is insane. And then she's ready to get to the girl, and then they finally get her up, but the minute she's done, she's gone. The girl's basically gone. What do? So then basically they're worried that Wanda's about to run there, but then Strange appears. And Strange begs and pleads with Christine, let me free and take me to the book in the book. I'll just call it the book. I don't know the exact name, but the book. And she's like, I can't do that. I don't trust you. But then the girl, who's a really smart kid, basically said, I trust him. You could trust him. He's not the Strange you think he is. And you know what happens? She does. She unlocks both Strange and the girl and says, don't make me regret it. And then you hear the Scarlet Witch in the background, so they gotta run. They gotta go. So then they have this kind of secret where the main padlock is, and they're just running through. They're basically running through the things or whatever. They're running basically through everything. They're running through this. They're running through these doors, and Wanda's just destroying everything. Wanda is this close to getting to the girl. She's this close. She's destroying each door. But then they finally get like the heaviest door, and we don't hear Wanda for making. She's there, and then she finally breaks through the door very creepily with a really creepy face, like Sandy. It was so creepy. Breaks through, and then what happens is Strange basically is pleading Wanda, don't do it. But then Wanda's about to take the girl, but then Strange was like, I hope the Scarlet Witch likes water. Oh no, I hope the Scarlet Witch can't drown. Basically hits the thing, water comes down and gives him time. Wanda gets basically wiped out for now. Buys some time, and she's basically out for a bit until a little later. Then they have the door. The door is in a room, but Strange tries to use his sorcery. Doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It's just functioning, doesn't work. But then, luckily, Christine had the broken watch that Strange had. And then uses that watch, and it opens it just fine. So there, they jump down. Christine is there. They were both there. They walk down with the book. The book is right there. Strange is ready to do some spells to try to end the Scarlet Witch and keep this kid safe. As he's about to get ready to go, Wanda is not basically down yet. She's basically so powerful she's not down yet. She comes down and interrupts it, destroys the book. Strange is like, what do we do? They try to take her on her own. No chance. No chance at all. Absolutely no chance. And then what happens after that is basically takes out her, and then unfortunately she basically forces the girl to use the multiverse and to bring her back. So then Strange and Christine get taken out by Scarlet Witch. Strange tried to interfere with the girl, but Wanda basically makes her open the portal and takes her with her, and then basically sends Christine and Strange to another universe, while Wanda takes them back to reality, takes them back to home. So now America Chavez is now stuck with Wanda, where she's about to do the ritual. Puts her on the table. She's ready to do the ritual. She has her where she wants. That happens. Then we cut back to Strange and Christine, basically all the way in this universe, and it's like the universe is colliding into one. There's a bunch of weird mirrors, there's a bunch of weird stuff, there's a lot of things that happen, and it just looks really bad. So then Strange is like, we gotta find another sorcery, we gotta find another building, and then really, there's like this really weird dust kind of style of witchery, and apparently the universe of that Strange lives there, that has the dark power. Apparently, that's what she says. And then she waits outside for her, and then Strange goes upstairs and then meets his counter other, but not really. It's like a double Strange. He's like basically talking like, are you happy? Basically saying those same things that Christine, well, not Christine, but like someone asks if he's happy, and you know, he explains like the darkness basically didn't give me happiness. Like I was trying to find a universe that I could stand and just live, and a lot of questions and stuff. So then Strange just says, I need to use the book so I can try to save the world, or basically save the multiverse. But Strange says, you must battle me first, because he pulls out the third eye because of the dark power, and basically they're not alike. They're basically two different entities. So then what do the Strangers do? They start off easy battle. They start off with some powers. One is purple, one is orange, which for Doctor Strange. Both Strangers fight, and this is probably the coolest battle. They use music to battle each other. That's really cool, and I love that animation touch that Marvel did. Absolutely incredible. You just see music notes, just do-do-do, nice music, but then you have the bad music where it cut out, da-da-da-da, and it's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then finally Strange uses kind of the rift of one of the instruments that are there to get the Strange killed. That happens, and then Strange gets basically blasted and goes through the window right in front of Christine, and then eats the gate that's super sharp. Christine's screaming for her life. She's fucking terrified because the third eye pops up, and he's like, "Hello, Christine." And she's like, "Oh!" She screams for her life. It was crazy. So then Strange finally could do the spell. The spell that he's going to be doing is to control a body that can use to basically overpower Wanda with death, but also trying to trap Wanda so that she doesn't do the ritual. So, Strange gets to work. He gets a bunch of candles, but then Christine walks in and says, "What are you gonna do with the book?" It's like, I'm gonna do a walking spell, a dark walking spell to get to Wanda." But he's like, "Don't you need a body for that?" And he said, "Who said it needed to be a body? Who said it needed to be alive?" So then he basically brings back to death, which we saw in the trailer, the undead zombie Strange to basically go to battle and protect. But the one thing Christine has to do, she has to protect Strange so he can get full power while embracing the death, because it is actually a law in sorcery. You cannot walk. And basically says, "Stephen Strange, you're doing something very illegal. You're not allowed to do this." And they're basically trying to shut down, but then Christine comes clutch and basically burns them with like a kind of a thing in the shelf and then a lighter, and just burns all of them, destroys all of them. And then once they're destroyed, Strange, she says, "I'm here, I'm holding you," and then he finally embraces it. His eyes finally open up, he embraces it, he gets all the evil stuff, and then he flies out to Wanda. Then we transition to Wanda. Wanda's ready to do the ritual. She has the gold rock, she's ready to do it, she's ready to power up with the 3 guards protecting her. Then they show Wong, before this, Wong basically chilling out underneath the mountain, basically just chilling and not dead. So, smartly, Wong basically pulls up kind of a grappling hook with his kind of thing, pulls it up, and starts pulling himself up, but then he sees Strange, kind of a zombie-esque Strange. He's like, "Yeah, let's go, Strange!" And then Strange basically, because then Wong hits one of the monsters in the head with it and takes him out. The other monster's about to try to throw him up, and then here comes Strange with the undead, kills both of them in 2 shots, and then Wong gets pulled all the way up, and then when they both get up there, Wong's like, "I don't want to know." And then they're ready to battle Wanda. Wanda stops the magic spell to try to protect the girl to use the power, and Strange basically annoys the Scarlet Witch. He annoys Wanda with these kind of death styles, basically laugh at her. She's confused, she can't figure it out. And then they're ready to trap her. Basically, Wong's got a big trap ready to trap Wanda, but there's gonna need a power source to do it. So then basically Strange gets taken out, and she says to the girl, and she's like, "Are you gonna take my power?" And she's like, "No, I'm not gonna do that." Like, Strange doesn't want to do it, but he basically asks the girl, "Use your powers." And then she basically explains, and I love what Strange is doing here while Christine's protecting her in the other universe. Use your powers. You've been basically using your powers. And basically saying, even the ones you failed, you're still using power. Basically give her encouragement to use her powers. So, that happens. She powers up. She basically, Wanda breaks free of the thing. Wong gets taken out for a second, and then she basically punches Wanda, boom, with the multiverse in her face, basically using her powers. And she's like, "Little girl, you don't want to do it." She's basically about to take the power, and she punches Wanda for one more time, and then it opens up her universe she wants to go to. And Strange has a plan. She basically sees her 2 kids. They see Wanda, and they get scared out of her mind. They're like, "I would never hurt you." And then the Wanda in the universe basically gets taken out. She's ready to take the girl, but the boys back up like they're scared for their life. She's like, "I would never hurt you. That it's a witch." And they're scared. So then Wanda notices that, all she wanted was peace. all she wanted was her kids, like she said. And unfortunately, she now knows that she's ruining their lives. So Wanda just sits there, kind of laid down crying after seeing what she's been doing and destroying everything. Basically, the other Wanda touches her in the head and is like, "This is all you are. Like, this is what you're doing. Like, just let us be." And the girl was about to close the bullet, but the Strange said, "Not yet." And then they let it sit. Really, really, really cool scene. It just looked really emotional. And then she finally closes the portal. Wanda's not attacking anymore. Scarlet Witch says she moves the girl. The girl moves out of the way. She goes on the podium herself. She goes on the podium herself. And Strange said basically, go on with Wong. You must go. But Strange says, I'll find you. Because of course he's still in the multiverse. He's still there. And then Wanda, she basically nods at Doctor Strange and says, I must. I am. She says, I am something, and I must do it I am the one who created it. I have to destroy it, kind of thing. But I forgot what the actual term was. I have to go back and look what the quote was. She says that she basically grabs the whole building. She puts her arms across like this, ready to basically sacrifice herself after doing all the damage. She sacrifices hers with the undead Strange. And then Wanda is officially put down for now. And then we head back into the multiverse. And Strange and Christine are there. Christine holds up Strange after finishing the job. And then we get a nice little scene with her and Multiverse Christine, which seems like she has an affection for him. And she's like, I wish I would know what the real world looks like, because you can't take her with her. It ruined the whole timeline and everything. She's got work to do. And Strange says, like, you could come, but she just said, I have to do my job. And he's like, yeah, I understand. But you can see the love is there, because Christine said you did it and everything. Like, she's very supportive of him. And unfortunately, that relationship didn't work out. But I would have loved to see that relationship work out. They seem so perfect for each other, but I know it didn't happen because Doctor Strange, the sorcerer, he's got to do his job. But it's good that at least Multiverse Christine respects Doctor Strange. And she says herself, she says, go be Doctor Strange. So then Strange, the girl comes back with the multiverse, finds Strange, picks up Strange kind of like a pickup, takes him back to the safe land of, basically where she could be safe. She's training how to do it. She was doing sparks. Before Strange went back to the sorcery, went back to New York, she basically said, I'm glad I'm in the universe. He said, I'm glad too. And just saying, what's up? Basically saying goodbye. In a cool way, not like a weird, like, love way, kind of in a cool way, just like a friend kind of thing. And he's glad. He's like, thank you for everything and everything. And she even, Dr. Strange says, I hope you find your parents someday. And he's like, thank you. So she's going to be training with Wong, doing the training, trying to learn how to be a sorcerer, which is also very cool. So she'll be interested to see where she goes, and then they finally split away. Doctor Strange, aka Steven, is ready to move on. He looked like he's wearing different clothes. He actually fixes his broken watch, makes it a brand new watch, and we're like, oh, it's probably gonna be normal, right? Because of course he became a dark, and even Wong asked about it before they split. How are you feeling? Because you basically dark walked. And that's not allowed. He's like, I'm gonna feel okay. He feels okay. But then when we get back home, that's not the case. So he basically walks outside, and then he hears this kind of loud banging trigger something. And then the darkness comes out, and you see the third eye. The third eye finally pops up for Strange. The darkness is in Strange. And we're like, oh, okay. So then that's when the movie cuts and ends. But there's two post-credit scenes that I'm going to talk about now, and then I will give my final thoughts. So then, after that, the movie ends. You think it's over. Obviously, they always do post-credit. The post-credit pops up, and Strange is just walking normally, nothing's going on, and then we see this girl just come out of nowhere. Apparently, her name is Cora. She's very familiar. Don't know who she is. She comes up and says, Dr. Stephen Strange, we need to go. We need to go. We need your help. She literally just cuts open the universe with one slice. And she basically says, you're coming with us unless you're afraid. And then Strange pulls the third eye saying, oh, I'm not afraid. So then those two walk off, and that's faded black. That's one post-credit scene. And then the final post-credit scene was more of a troll. Basically, the guy that was punching himself was basically punching himself more, which was really funny. And then basically he's like, "Hey, the punching's over. It's over." And then it cuts to black, and that's it. That's it. But the one thing they did say was Strange will be back after the post-credit scene went up. And that's it. That was Doctor Strange. Man, that was a mouthful. There was a lot of information there. You could dissect it if you want. I talked a lot. Try to explain things the best I can. It's a lot harder because there's a lot of terms and stuff that you need to add in. But I did my best. But now time for my final verdict. Like I said, this was an amazing movie. This was so much fun. It was a great film. I don't think it was better than Spider-Man. I think it's a little overhyped. But other than that, amazing. 9.5 out of 10. It was really strong. Really strong. It was really strong. I enjoyed it. And it shows that Doctor Strange could do a film. A lot of people doubted Doctor Strange back in the day, but Benedict Cumberbatch proved us wrong. So that is right, a 9.5 out of 10. One of my favorite moments, what were my favorite surprises? Seeing Captain Carter in What If in real life was pretty sick. I kind of hope they didn't kill her off so soon. I kind of hope there's only a multiverse thing we actually see her in a movie. Like she seemed like a badass. Like she looked so cool. It was so cool. I liked that Christine finally, Strange learned something about, you don't have to, make the decisions. Let other people make decisions. I liked that learning. I liked that Christine finally gave Strange some love in the multiverse. I liked that. I loved how it looked. Like the movie was probably the crazy CGI movie, but in like a good way. Like it was really strong, and it was particular parts that actually seemed pretty legit. So, but yeah. So those would be kind of my favorite parts that I liked. My favorite characters. I love how OP Wanda was. I love how she was using her dark, evil stuff that she's been learning to, destroy people. I thought that was really cool. I know a lot of people were disappointed with Strange. I actually liked Strange in this than people did. I thought his character development was actually very good. I know a lot of people were like, it's just a girl helping him. But I liked the connection there. I liked that duo. That was cool. I would also say, Wong is always good. He's always amazing. But the main thing that was the really big surprise for me was to see the Illuminati with Captain Carter, Professor X, etc. That was the big surprise. I was like, wow, it's incredible. So, I kind of hope we get something with What If Captain Carter. She seems like, her What If was cool. I might even go back and watch those. But the cool part about it was, right, they took that animated thing and made it a real life Captain Carter with the actor. And she looked like a badass. So I kind of hope Captain Carter has more plans for her. Maybe an actual real life TV show for Disney. I think that'd be pretty cool. But she looks so sick. And she sounded like Captain Carter too, which was crazy. I thought it was going to sound really off. But she sounds exactly like Captain Carter in What If. And it was really cool to see. So that is it. That is all I'm going to say for Doctor Strange. If you did not watch, please do not watch this video because it is a spoiler talk. And I do not want any misconception with being like, oh, yeah, I didn't watch the film. I probably could just watch this. No, do not watch this. There's a lot of spoilers in here. Please do not watch it. If you do not watch it, if you watch it already, you can watch it because I talk a lot. But that is it. Thank you guys so much for joining me for my Doctor Strange Multiverse Madness review. I hope you guys enjoyed and have a good